Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am absolutely pumped for this video because I am so excited to tell you guys about the Catbird Hotel. I've been sitting on this topic for about 2 weeks now, and I just can't wait any longer because it was literally the coolest hotel I have ever stayed in my life. I want to go back to Denver, Colorado right now just so I can spend like another 3 days chilling in this hotel. I don't even want to go around Denver. I just want to stay in this hotel and enjoy all of the awesome amenities that it has. And so I can't wait to tell you guys all about it so you can go and book a stay for yourself. If that sounds like fun to you, let's go ahead and dive in. Now, one of the things that drew us to this hotel in the first place was that it was located right in the Rhino District, which is one of Denver's biggest art districts. There's a whole street, Larimer Street, that is covered in wall murals and different kinds of street art. There's a lot of boutiques and creative experiences down there, and we really wanted to stay close to that action so we could walk around, be within close driving distance, and the Catbird hit that mark perfectly. Additionally, like I said, we wanted a hotel that was unique. I didn't want to stay at a Days Inn or even just like a basic Hilton. I wanted a boutique experience, and the Catbird checked that on every single level. All right, so let's start with the lobby. All right, I walked in, saw this lobby, and knew the Catbird was going to be fantastic. They have this really open, modern space with all of these really interesting little elements, from little pieces of artwork to just the unique couches that they chose. The lobby area is made to chill and to gather. They have a great mix of chairs and couches. Every seating area has at least one table so you can be there working or sipping coffee or eating your breakfast, because it does double as a really cool breakfast area. There's an area with a fireplace and a TV over that. And then what I really loved was in the back of the lobby, there was a separate room, and along one wall, it had several desks built into the wall with these really cool chairs, power outlets, so you could sit there and you could work or do whatever on your laptop. And the rest of the room was a game room. They had tons of books and games and puzzles that guests can just go in there and use, and it was perfectly set up to bring your friends in or maybe curl up in a corner with a book. And I absolutely loved just how cozy it was and how they had so many little details that just brought the whole space together in a really homey but professional atmosphere. So there's a couple other parts to this downstairs area. There's a little self check-in. They don't actually have a reception desk. There's a person who can help you if you need it, but otherwise guests can just go to these cute little kiosks. You get to check in, make your own key card. When you're ready to leave, you can just drop it off at this little box there. I thought that was so fun. They do have a really neat dining room / conference table area off to the side. And then they have this huge open countertop with a kitchen behind it, and every morning they make fresh breakfast for their guests. They do have a little fridge off to the side where you can buy some ingredients if you want to cook up in your room or buy a little snack. But our stay included a breakfast, and I'm not talking a continental breakfast. Like, they made us this delicious meal that I would have paid good money for at a restaurant. I got the most delicious monkey bread French toast, and it was one of the best things I've ever put in my mouth. My friend got this really great avocado toast, and they made it right in front of us in this open kitchen. They had a professional chef in there, and we got to watch, and then we just took it to one of these cute little seating areas and enjoyed our breakfast. It was so much fun and just so different from any hotel I'd ever been to. Okay, we can move on to the rest of the hotel. So throughout the hotel, we really did love the style that they brought into it. Like, the hallways had this really pretty carpet. The doors were this fun blue color. They had lots of funky artwork, mostly centered around cats and birds, but it did kind of tie together in this overarching theme. They had the nicest water and ice station I have ever seen. Like, you know how sometimes you go into a hotel and you go to get your ice and you're in like a mini dungeon? It was really professional and very conveniently located to our rooms. And oh my goodness, the rooms were so cool. I don't know if you guys have seen that Hack My Home Netflix show, but that was the first thing I thought of when I walked into this room. We got the Catbird studio, so it had a king size bed and about 400 square feet of space, but they had hacked every inch of this room to maximize efficiency. So we walked in and saw that the bed was up on this raised platform. You walked up a couple stairs to get to it. They had lights on the stairs, a little railing around the bed so you could walk around this platform safely. And then underneath that, they had put so much storage. Like they had shelves with a safe and a microwave and a bunch of pots and pans to use in the kitchenette. They had different drawers. They had a table that was hidden as it looked just like a panel, but you pulled it out and you could have a full meal on there and then shove it back in when you were done. I didn't even find this in our room because some of these were so well hidden, but apparently there's like a full hanging clothes rack under the bed that you could pull out, hang your clothes on, and then shove back in there to keep out of the way. Like, how cool is that? On the walls, there were these cabinets, and one had the TV, but then you opened them and there was room for some flat storage in there. There were hooks all along the wall. There was a little round wardrobe in one corner, this cute little couch and a chair with a table between them, and then this adorable kitchenette that you could actually make full meals in. Besides the oven, it had a burner and a sink. There were cabinets hiding an almost full-size fridge and freezer, like none of this mini fridge garbage you get in hotels. Like you could pack that full. There was a little dishwasher under the sink and another in a drawer, and then another drawer with trash cans. And then they had provided all sorts of pots and pans and cooking utensils so that you could cook healthy meals or, ramen if you wanted it in your room. And I just thought that was so nice. And they actually had a little sign that said if you needed more supplies, you could check them out downstairs instead of having to go out and buy more or maybe settle for a less enticing meal while you were staying there. They also had this really beautiful bathroom that was actually pretty spacious for the size of our room. It had this gorgeous blue tile on the walls and this black and white design tile on the floor. It had tons of counter space, which I am always a big fan of at hotels, especially since we had two girls staying in the same room. It had this gorgeous glass shower with a rain shower head and then like a handheld one you could take off if you want a different option. They had all the little shampoo, conditioner, body wash bottles in the shower and then some extra little amenities on the counter. Like it was just a really nice space. It had a really big mirror with backlighting on it too, so it wasn't dark. And it even had a little window that kind of peeked through at the top to let some sunlight in from the picture window in the main room. Now, speaking of the picture window, that was my favorite part of this whole thing. So the big window gives a nice view of the street, but it had two different shades that you could pull down. One was a privacy shade. The other was a projector screen. You could project whatever you wanted to watch onto the window to have a 6x8 movie screen. It was the perfect height to watch from bed, and it was just such a cool and relaxing element. I absolutely loved it. I could have stayed in there all day and had a movie marathon. But that's not all. There's actually even more to explore at the Catbird on the rooftop. So they have a rooftop bar and lounge called the Red Barber, and it's in a very unique and funky indoor and outdoor space. Now, the indoor space really reminded me of the lobby. It had a lot of greenery, some plush, funky looking couches that doubled as booths with the tables. They had a big bar where they'll serve up drinks and small bites. And then outside, they had this amazing rooftop area that's just made for gathering. They have a big green space with lawn chairs and lawn games that you can play while you look out over the Denver skyline. There's a little amphitheater and stage area. They have little pillows on them so you can just sit and talk with your friends. They had little individual fire pits surrounded by beanbag chairs. And then at the far end, they have two rooftop hot tubs with the perfect view of the Denver skyline. They had some extra lawn chairs in that area so you could sit. They had like a glass wall, so you had this beautiful unobstructed view. And then off to the side, they had this big patio area, and it actually had a tent over it, and you can have weddings and special events up there. Like, it was the neatest space, and it was just so colorful and vibrant and really made to have fun. So just a couple more things that I really liked about this hotel. One, it was pet friendly. I did not have Atlas with me this time, but I love knowing that if I wanted to, I could bring him. And they don't have size or breed restrictions, which I know for a lot of people, if they have like a pit bull or a Doberman, it could be the sweetest dog in the world, but a hotel's not going to let you bring them with you. So I really liked that they didn't have any discriminating dog policies, and they'll even provide beds and water bowls for them if you want, so your pet feels comfortable too. And then they have the playroom. And basically, they have all sorts of items that you can check out to use at the hotel or around the city. So they had puzzles, board games, different cookware, like I mentioned before, but they also had like footballs and soccer balls if you wanted to go play at the park. They had Polaroid and GoPro cameras. They had bicycles and little Vespas in the Catbird colors to help you get around town if you didn't want to take a car. And I thought it was just so neat that they provided all those different amenities so you didn't feel like you had to bring everything, or if you decided, hey, it's a beautiful day, I want to go out and do this, you could just get the equipment from the hotel without having to track it down somewhere else and buy it. I also want to mention the staff was really phenomenal. Like the morning we were going to leave, my friend and I wanted to go check out the rooftop because we hadn't gotten to see it the night before, and they were so nice. They went up and unlocked it for us. They made sure we had the key to the hot tubs, and we're just double checking we had what we needed. We asked for some tips on what to do in the area, and they gave us this big list based off of our time frame, and anytime we're in the lobby, they were just ready to help, but not in your face about it. And I just really appreciated how kind and willing to please all of the ladies on staff were. The only real complaint I had about the hotel was the parking situation. It is right in downtown Denver, so parking is a premium commodity, and so you do have to pay for parking. We wanted to do self-parking, but we couldn't get the pass to work in the self-parking garage. So they were really nice about it, and they upgraded us to free valet parking. But we would have liked to have the flexibility to just go in and get our car whenever we wanted. Obviously, the valet was there, but then you have to wait, and then you have to tip them. And so that would be my only complaint, was I wish parking was a little easier, but it's a small price to pay for how much fun we had with the rest of the hotel. All right, guys, that is all from me for today. I hope I have inspired you to go check out this hotel. This is not sponsored, by the way. I just loved it there, and I want to go back. I hope if you find yourself in Denver, you will check out this hotel and book a stay for yourself. They have a lot of different room sizes to accommodate different numbers of guests. They have different suites, and so check it out no matter how many people you're traveling with. If you want to learn a little bit more, I have a full blog on it at cochranewriting.com. You can check that out. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel before you go. It means more than you know. Thanks for being here. Happy travels.